a skeezer. Want to talk about tires a little bit. I'm running specifically, I want to talk to you about the Rekons that I'm running on my bikes. We are running the Rekons 29 260s. We're running them front and rear times 2 bikes. The weight on them, Maxxis specs them at 780. I weighed all of them when we got them in. Mine were all plus or minus 4, so 784 to 700, and actually a little bit more than that, to 772 so on these tires. So they were extremely close to the spec weight. For a 260 tire, 120 TPI, that's an awfully light tire. They say they're 260 width. When I first put them on, they were closer to like 252. I wanted to wait a little while to measure them, give a chance to fully stretch out. The ones on this bike we're looking at here have been on it now for about 3 weeks. Re-zero. That won't work. Let's zero and try it again. Not quite. There you go. 259. So 2.59 inches. That's pretty close to the 260. Let's check another one just for kicks and see what it looks like. We're zeroed. $257, $256.9, and guess we can do all 4 of them. Doesn't really matter. $260. And for the last tire, this is kind of refreshing because I was told they spec way underneath size, but re-zero again. My caliper's a little bit low on battery here. $259.5. That's 260. So Maxxis is hitting them right at where they're supposed to be. Another thing you'll notice about these tires, see if I can get a good light shot on them. Here we go. Is that the front of all the treads have these little ramps on them coming up, and they have really nice sipes. This tire you're looking at has about 400 miles on it so far, so it's showing a little bit of wear, where this one has about 150 miles on it, so it's showing a little wear, but it does have 400 miles. The cornering lugs are actually quite effective. I'm surprised. Are these Minions? No. Are they Icons? No. But they're close to the Icon weight, and I find that they roll incredibly fast, so it's a good compromise for a fast rolling tire. They have a pretty good bite in the corners. They are a little bit sensitive to pressure, so spend some time, as with any tire, expect doing pressure. Quick specs of the tire: Rekon 260s, 120 TPI, 3C, which means, looking at it here, this compound is harder than this compound, and this compound is harder than this compound. So as you go to the sides, the compounds get softer for better grip. They got really nice deep sipes in them. If you notice that, look at that. They're really good deep sipes, so they actually grab pretty well on the rocks. EXO is the housing. This is a little bit protecting housing. Tubeless ready, and they don't say on here, but these are actually, another spec is WT, which means they're for the wider rims. They're recommended for 30 and 35 width rims. You notice these rims are, they're 35, they're 30s, they're quite wide, but the tire does form up very good on them, so they designed them around this rim width for the 260s. I've ridden these in all kinds of terrain, from sandy to hard packed clay, I've taken them to Bentonville, I've taken them to all the rock gardens in Bonavista and rode on them, and so far they have not disappointed at all. No issues at all. The wife's bike, give you some idea, she's running about 15 up front and 19 in the rear, and this is her bike. I'm a little bigger boy than she is. I'm pushing, about 210, and I run 25 in the rear and 20 in the front. I got it down to as low as like 20 in the rear, and it did feel a little bit loose. 23 felt a little better, but 25 felt real sweet. The front, still playing with that some, depending on the weather, depending on what I'm riding and stuff, anywhere from 18 if it's on really soft stuff, to if I'm running a little more challenging, I like running at 20. So for me, I would say at my weight on this large frame bike, 20-25 is about where I like to have them. I find they're very confidence inspiring. When you go into a turn, further you get your bike laid down, more aggressive they become, of course, because of these cornering lugs, and they really do inspire a lot of confidence. They're not quite as inspiring as the Minions, but it also doesn't feel like you're towing a boat when you're riding the bike. I haven't had any trouble with the tires washing out. When they do start breaking loose, they drift very predictably, so it is nice to have a drift. Just a second, we gotta stop the video just a minute. Hi, baby. You gonna say hi? Yeah.
It's a new mascot.
That's our new mascot. That would be Sarge. He's our baby German Shepherd. Okay, back to the video. Anyway, but as far as they go, couldn't be happier with them. And we are running 260 front and 260 rear on both bikes. We did that was just convenient, so we can have one spare tire. We can buy a fifth one and keep it in the car, and if we're traveling and we happen to get a snake bite or punch a sidewall and tear one up, either bike, then we can throw the tire on. It works on either bike. My wife has been able to climb considerably better. I contribute most of it to the tires, where she came from. I'm not going to talk about the other brands. I don't say anything negative about another brand or another make. And part of it is she also changed to the full squish bike, so the combination of the two worked very well for her. We don't really have any much downhill around here. If you're a downhiller, then you may want something more aggressive, but for what we ride, like even going to Bentonville, I found nothing they wouldn't hold in Bentonville when I was over there, and I pushed them really hard. So, you know, if you're doing the really serious hardcore downhills and enduros, then yeah, this isn't it. But second, I wanted to wait to give you an update on these tires or do a review on them so I could get past the honeymoon, because when you're in the honeymoon you always love them, but I've had mine on my bike now for 3 months, so we're well out of the honeymoon, so I can give you a pretty honest review. The honeymoon's over and I'm still very happy with the choice. If I tear one up or have to replace them, I will be going back with them. I can't think of another tire that would suit me better. Rekon 29 by 260, 120 TPI, 3C, MaxTerra, EXO, TR. Amazing tires.